So what's going on, guys? It's Captain America. Hope you guys are well, and thank you so much for jumping onto this video. So the first clip that you're going to see is just an absolute disaster. I don't know what the goalkeeper as well as the defender AIs are doing. Like, it's just I don't know, I gave up. I honestly, it was 1 a.m. as well. I was knackered in general, so I had to get up early anyway the next morning for work. So I was like, look, this is the pinnacle of my night. I'm just gonna switch the game off. I switched the PC off and just went back to bed. And I was like, look, there's no point playing this dumbass game. So yeah, that was a sad ending to the night. But yeah, so in general, what we're going to be talking about in this video is going to be about this game. So this game was a mixed bag. So at the first half, there was a lot of chances. There were goals scored, but it was a dominating performance from the opposition in the first half. We did lose a player with a red card, our striker, in the first half. So for the next remaining 50 minutes or so, we were down to like 10 men. But funnily enough, we were dominating them. We completely dominated them in the second half, and we scored a very, very late goal in order to win the game. But overall, the game that we played, I don't know why the first half was just so poor. The passing wasn't going to plan. We were holding the ball too much as well. And same with me, my positional play and my just how I was feeling for the match. It wasn't great for the first half. Second half, though, it did pick up from my side as well as the team, so it was really, really good to see. So no, I feel that in general, I'm glad that we did come back and we played as a unit, especially with the red card that we did get. So no, very happy with this, and again, it places us into a good position for another Division 1 title. So you might have noticed in the previous video that I just uploaded yesterday. Again, we have been doing daily uploads. With yesterday's video, it was about the stats, my player stats, the club itself, and just generally about the best build of a centre-back and my perks and what I do recommend that you use. Again, it's based on like positional play. This is how I tend to play, and again, just yeah, understanding. And I do recommend the previous video that I did upload, and I'll place a link at the top of this so you can see this if you do want to. But yeah, so just enjoy this match while I do talk about other stuff. So yesterday we had the Europa League conference final with Roma versus Feyenoord. So you got Jose Mourinho, who's yet again in another major trophy or major final, which is always good to see. With the clubs that he's managed, and he's managed so many, he's always done very well with winning, a trophy as such. So with Roma now, this is their first major European trophy. They got the likes of Abraham, who's been phenomenal this season. But just generally, I'm glad that Roma they're doing well, and I'm also glad with the likes of AC Milan as well as Inter Milan, the oldies, that they are all doing well. We did have Totti for so many years at Roma, so. I'm just happy that he's seeing the Roma side that is going on today, that they're still doing very well since he's left. So no, very glad for that. And Jose Mourinho, touche to you. Zaniola's goal as well was very good, very well taken. I thought it was offside initially, but no, he just got in with a good line. I feel unfortunate for him overall. He's a fantastic player, but he was out injured for quite a while last season and the previous years as well due to just injuries. He's a very good, talented player. Even on like Football Manager, for example, he's a wonder kid. Soccer Manager 2, very rated highly. You got the likes of Tonali as well in AC Milan. Both of these two are like was it Italian nationality. So I do feel that in the future, with the Italian national team being quite aged, I do hope that these youngers they get an opportunity, because the Italian team do have a young good team as well. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. But no, overall, let's see how it goes with Liverpool in the final on Saturday. With the boys, I've got something planned. We've been discussing what we're going to be doing. So we did watch the Liverpool versus Real Madrid game when Liverpool lost 3-1. This is when, Karius, my favourite goalkeeper of all time, fumbled twice to Benzema, and then Bale as well. Man can't even save. Now he's like fourth fiddle at Liverpool, just, I don't know, cleaning the canteen for like whenever the boys eat. So I don't know what he's doing, man. And even then he can't even keep a clean sheet and housekeeping or whatever crap that he does, man. I don't give a crap about him. I just want him to get sold. But no, overall, so what we done for that time was we went to like London Bridge. We had a fantastic, like a courtyard where we had tables there, but then they also had like a very large screen where they were playing the game. And we got there early, luckily enough, and I think I was glad because we got a really, really good table. And when it started getting a bit more packed, the tables in the center of the courtyard were useless because there were so many people coming around going to the front of the screen that you couldn't see anything. So everyone had to either be standing in that center area or in the corners, of course, being stood as well. So fortunately enough, we did have the table in the corner, so we had a really good viewpoint of the big screen TV. We just stood up and we enjoyed the game the entire day. But the only thing I didn't like about that was because you got different, let's say, for example, so many screens because of how big the courtyard is. And, you know, they do have inner pubs as well around this courtyard. Some of these TVs were, of course, streaming, you know, at a faster time than the, let's say, the one going into the large screen because it just has a slight, let's say, delay. So within those small little pubs, you could hear these cheers and everything going on in advance, and then maybe 30 seconds later, you could see what's actually happening on the big screen. So that was a bit of a letdown, especially as Real Madrid scored the first goal. And then, yes, Liverpool scored the second, but again, you know what happened with the second and the third. So, no, so looking forward to seeing what's happening with the Champions League final. We're actually going to be now going to Covent Gardens because we did call the same venue for the courtyard, but it's now owned by a different person, so they don't do that anymore. But that was a really cool experience. So no, looking forward to the final and what we have in Covent Gardens when we're going to be there with the boys. So it's going to be a really, really good evening. So hopefully a good result. And then in tomorrow's video, I'll go through like my prediction on like the lineup, who I do feel will play. I do hope that, you know, we get the boys fit with the likes of like Van Dijk. You got Salah, and then also Thiago as well as Fabinho. So hopefully we get all of these guys fit, because then at least we got a team that's fully running, competing against Real Madrid, who have been quite lucky within their journey, but of course they did win the Spanish league. But overall they've got a very aged side, so it will be interesting to see how they play, because of course they did dominate, or not really dominate, but they came back against City, but City just literally just collapsed, like, I don't know, they literally just collapsed within like so quickly, and it was just something funny to see. It was like 3 goals within like, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, again including extra time that they went to. So with City, I don't feel that they keep that mentality consistent, especially like with the likes of Aston Villa that you saw. They were conceding 2 goals at home. You never expect that, especially with them leading in the Premier League and expected to win at least 4 to 5 goals. That's what I was predicting for that game for City. So with City's play, yes, they do have the high press and very similar to like Liverpool, but it'll be very interesting to see if we can keep Thiago fit and, you know, have him in the final. He could orchestrate that midfield, especially with the likes of him competing against Cruz, Modric, who's been phenomenal for Real Madrid this season with his vision. Even like the age that he is, I feel that he's done very well with comparing the likes of like Xavi or even Iniesta, who Iniesta now is in the Japanese, let's say, league down there. He's playing there as of course a midfielder, and then you got Xavi, who's now moved across to Barca managing them. But Modric, who's still very similar within the age group of them, is a first team player at Madrid and still doing very well. And then again you've got the likes of Benzema, who again is very, very old now. So with him not playing with like Ronaldo, for example, in his younger years, you know, he's now experienced. He's very similar to, let's say, how Ibrahimovic is. He's still a prime GOAT. He's like 40 years old, but whenever he plays, you expected a goal from him. So these old legends are still doing very well in the scene, and it's very good to see that, you know, they're still scoring. You know, they're going for like potentially a Ballon d'Or with Benzema, so that'll be interesting to see if he does win that. But good luck to him. But I don't know, it might be corruption. I do feel that he'll be nominated and even potentially winning. I think Salah may come second, and then I don't know who will come third, but it'll be interesting. Let's see what type of corruption will happen with that. But yeah, so also looking at this video, I was looking at, let's say, the transfers and what's actually in the horizon for like rumours as well as confirmed. So one of the talks within the Liverpool squad, of course, is Mane. So with him, he's mentioned that after the Champions League final, he will make a decision on what he wants to do. If he wants to stay at Liverpool, or the rumored team that is wanting him is Bayern Munich. So let's see with him. He's now 30 years old. He's done very well this season, especially the positions that he's played throughout Liverpool over the years. You know, going from the left, the right, now the centre, a false nine type of position, centre forward. He's just done so well in his flexibility to be able to like position himself in these type of different areas, in the attacking areas. But he's always scored as well as given assists. But he's done very well for Liverpool as a centre forward. His pace, his strength, he does track back quite a lot as well. He's an insane player, and I do rate him over Salah. Salah has fallen down completely with his form since January, especially with the losses that he had over those two key finals against, you know, Senegal. So, you know, they lost out on a World Cup position to Senegal in penalties, and then they also lost the African Cup of Nations as well to Senegal on penalties. So Mane did win both, so of course his morale is on another level. He's positive, man. He's jubbly, you know. He's got a Champions League final to go through. He's already won 2 trophies with Liverpool this season, so he's having a phenomenal season. So let's see what happens with Salah's contract situation too. But I really do hope Mane stays with Liverpool. I think he's still got a couple more years to him, especially with the formation that we have with the partnership of Diaz, who's been, again, insane in my previous videos I've mentioned, and highly rated him just on how he's performed. But no, it'll be interesting to see what happens with these. And then the next one that I was looking at was Neymar. So the high profile one, Neymar, who loves rolling on the ground for like 10 centuries and then, you know, gets injured and cries. You know, I don't know what he does, but he's a waste of breath, I feel. But the team that is rumoured to go for him, or potentially like to offer him, let's say, a deal, is Newcastle, because PSG are looking at selling him, man. He's not great. He's too injured most of the time, and yeah, let's see what happens with that, especially with Mbappe now as the leader of the scouting, and you know who the purchasing power has on the recruits that he wants to get within the team. So no, let's see what happens. I don't feel that Neymar will come into the Premier League. I think it's going to be a bit too fast paced, especially how stick physicality he has. So I think, you know, he'll just get barged off. Majority of the gameplay, it'll be on the floor, and I can't be asked to watch those games. So I'd rather he just goes to potentially either Barca or back to like Brazil and just retires, because he's done very well to, you know, get his name out there as a worldwide talent. But I think, you know, he's just generally now slowed down in his growth, and yeah, he's not great. So no, that'll be interesting to see what happens with that. Another good one for Liverpool is Ox. So yeah, I think now is the time, especially for Ox, to move on. I don't feel that he'll get a starting position, even as a second fiddle. We've got the likes of Elliott as well as Jones, who we're trying to go for with like youth and first team exposure on that side, and that's something that I really like about Jurgen Klopp and what he's done with, let's say, Trent, and bringing him into the first team, and look how great he's become. So, you know, we've got Jones, who's a Scouser, and then we've got Elliott, who's been a lifelong Liverpool fan. So no, I think both of them are very good potential players. I do feel that Elliott could potentially go on loan for a season. Same with Jones. No harm either, like both of them going, because again, the experience that they'll have is just going to be insane, especially if they could get a lot of game time. So that will help them when they do come back to Liverpool. But with Ox potentially moving on, very likely to like either West Ham or Aston Villa, which are rumoured for him. I do feel that West Ham will be an option. I think he is a London boy, especially with the likes of Arsenal that he played with. So I do feel he'll move over to like West Ham. Again, with the season that West Ham have had, I do feel that would be a good and wise move. Or even Aston Villa with like what Gerrard is doing. So that'll be interesting. And then the last one, just for talks for today, is Nketiah, who I feel should stay at Arsenal. You know, they are looking at a contract extension offer to Nketiah, and you know, overall, over the times in the Arsenal youth, he's been fantastic for them. I do feel that they should keep him. He is a fantastic player. For the last 8 matches that Arsenal had in the Premier League, the final games, he played in 8 of those, of course, and he scored 5. You know, that is an insane stat, and I do feel that the more game time that he could get with like Gabriel on the left, you got Saka on the right, you got Smith Rowe, these guys are just going to be potent, man, and I'm glad that Arteta is utilising the youth, so well done. That's it really, guys, for the end of the video. Thank you so much again for sticking around. I do appreciate you guys. Those that are new, please do subscribe, like and comment. We do talk about random stuff throughout the rest of the videos. It's every single day I upload, so thank you so much for your time. The oldies and goldies, again, legends. But yeah, enjoy the rest of the video. It's coming to the end, and take care. Bye bye.